Okay, so a soccer ball is kicked from the ground, and someone counts how long it takes for it to reach its maximum height. If the path of the ball is represented by the graph below, how long does it take to hit the ground, and what was the maximum height it reached? Okay, so when we test these questions, we kind of want to see your ability to take a word problem and answer the questions that we ask you based on the graph that you can draw, or we draw it for you. So here's basically what's happening. So the ball gets kicked and it goes up, and then it reaches its maximum height, right? And this person counts how long it takes, right? And it takes approximately, if we look, 2.5 seconds, right? Now, if you remember from the last question, we also did something. This thing here, right? That's the same thing as what we've got going on here. And it's what's known as the axis of symmetry, right? So it tells us that if the axis of symmetry is 2.5 seconds away from the y-axis, right? 2.5 seconds, then it must take 2.5 seconds for it to come back down to the ground. So 2.5 plus 2.5 is going to be at 5, right? So then we can connect down to there, and there's the path of our ball. So we now know that the ball took 5 seconds to hit the ground, after being kicked, right? And then we've got one other thing to answer here. It says, what was the maximum height the ball reached? Well, if we look at the axis of symmetry and we look up to, okay, well, right there, that's where it reached its maximum height at 8 meters. So the ball reached a maximum height of 8 meters. Right? I could also ask you, how long did it take to reach the maximum height? In which instance you would say, oh, it took 2.5 seconds, right? So that's that question. Move down to 6. Find the equation on the line between the points 3, 3, and 6, 4. Okay. I think the first thing you're going to always do with this question is plot the points. And remember, it always goes out and up, so it's always x and y, right? So I'm going to go find for the first point, I'm going to go find x is 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's my first point, right? That's this one. And then I'm going to go find the second point, 6, 4. Right? I'm going to find 6, and I'm going to go up to 4. Right? Okay. And then find the equation of the line. We studied quite a bit of lines. Right? An equation of a line takes on the form y equals mx plus b. Right? Where b is going to be where this graph crosses the y-axis, right? Wherever it's going to, it's going to have that number. And then m is going to be the slope of the line, which we can find from our 2 points. So because I've graphed them now, we know that slope is equal to rise over run. So if I start at the point 3, 3, I can go up 1, right? I can go up 1, right? So my rise is going to equal 1. And then I can go right 3. 1, 2, 3 to get to the other point, 6, 4, right? So then I know it's 1/3, right? Now, I don't actually know what the y-intercept is, but this is going to be my m. right? So I can simply just, when I go to write my equation back out, I can replace the m with 1/3. Now, I could have, if I decided to go, as a slope is again rise over run, right? I could have chosen to start at 6/4. In which case, to get to the other point, I would have had to have gone down 1. And when I go down, I know it's going to be negative. And then when I go left, left is also negative. Can you see as I go left on a graph, the numbers get more and more negative, right? Okay, so my slope could also take on negative 1/3, right? So now I can go onto my graph here, and I can just follow the pattern. I can go up 1, right 3, but not necessarily useful because I need to figure out what b is. So I need to go the other way from 3, 3, down 1, left 3. And lo and behold, I cross the y-axis at a value of 2, right? So now I know that the b value is going to be 2, right? And then I could draw, we want to see you draw a line connecting the points, right? And I want to see that the line goes on in both directions forever, right? So the last step here is going to find the equation. So I need you to write the equation y equals mx plus b, and you're simply going to replace m and b in the equation with the two numbers you just found. So the equation of the line is going to be y equals 1/3 x plus 2. If you would like to check to see if you're right or wrong, you could plug in, like again, this is just like a machine that spits out outputs. And if you wanted to check to see if that was right, I could plug in, for instance, 0.33. If I plugged in the x value for 3, I should expect to see a y value of 3 come out. So why don't we do that? Y equals 1/3 times 3 plus 2. So y is going to equal 1/3 times 3 is simply going to be 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So then I know I'm right, because the point, I plugged in an x of 3, and I got out a y of 3. So my point is 3, 3. That matches what I have there, and I know I'm correct. So this equation is also correct. And that ends up being the end of